Hey guys.
Oh Lord.
And we are going live.
How are
Mga
we
background.
doing? This is great.
Welcome, everybody. Hello, Ali. Hello, Tony. Hello, Noel. We're sisters like Angel.
And Ally, where we do our live stream. And of course, tonight, it's amazing because we're going to be talking about LGBTQ plus everything, all of the above. So if you have any questions about being lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, plus, all of the above, let us know on the questions. Yes.
And I'm Angel. I'm a registered nurse. I'm an actress. And today I'm doing technical stuff. So I'll be reading all of your comments on the live stream so that we can tell everybody here your comments and questions and we can answer them for you. And why don't you all guys introduce yourselves while I start promoting?
Okay, Toni, can you please introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Toni. I'm currently living in Las Vegas. I'm a life coach, but also one of their sisters from another mother. But hi. And I guess I'm supposed to represent the L in LGBTQ, but actually it's the Q for queen.
Okay, Noel, how about you?
Hi, I'm Noel, all the way here from Manila, Makati City, Manila. In my home, and here's my garden behind me. I'm a tech leader, startup entrepreneur slash businessman slash photographer slash everything else in between. I'm I don't know how to introduce myself, so we did not have any rehearsals. But I'm supposed to represent the G. I'm a platinum star gay. So
Never
Kita
been
naman sa hair mo, platinum. At we
yeah,
know
so
that you
I'm a
don't need any
you know.
rehearsals. That's why. Talagang,
Wait, you were cesarean birth?
Yeah, so
Wow,
I'm a
platinum
Oh, you
platinum
know what? We're
star
cesarean
gay.
also. We were
Oh,
also
exactly. We are
cesarean.
Cesarean. So my name is AllyCat Castle, and I'm a transgender woman, a proud transgender woman. I'm a news media makeup artist, and I'm older. I'm the older sibling of Angel by 3 years. Yes, we have the same mother, the same dad, and yes, we're both transgender women. And I'm going to be representing the transgender community. Okay, now back to you, Angel.
Hi, I'm sorry, I'm still posting on the stories. That's why I'm looking at my phone both times. But we had people watching. Matthew said hi, hello, and then Dale also is here. Hello, Matthew, and hello, Dale. So please just type in your questions if you have any questions for today. And thank you everybody for being here.
Exactly.
Well,
Thank you for inviting
Yeah.
us.
So why
thank
don't you
you
take
for
an
having
alley
us.
while I'm posting?
Okay. So hi Matthew and Dale. If you have any questions, please type it in so Angel can actually ask that among the four of us. So okay, so let's start. Let's be a bit traditional. Let's start with Toni, being you the queen here. So between the L and the Q, lesbian and queer, how would you say you would refer yourself more, or how did it all start for you?
So I want to say that it's hard for me with labels because back in high school, I guess it's supposed to be under the lesbian umbrella, but under that it's like you're either butch or femme or like in between, which is bisexual. So there's the blue or the pink or the purple or whatever. So it's so confusing, but growing up in a Catholic, all girls Catholic school, these are the labels that you need to kind of like take over and represent yourself. So eventually I was like, okay, well, I'm a lesbian, but it's kind of weird. So I just steered away from labels. I was just like, okay, whatever. Because I would date both. I would date both girls, boys, anyone in between that I'm attracted to. I don't care if I think I asked like Noel before. I was like, if this gay boy would go out with me, like I would totally make out with him.
Well, what a perfect introduction to
And
Noel.
that's true. And that's very true. I was like, that gay boy is so cute. And mind you, at that time, I would think I was dating a girl, but it doesn't
Yeah.
matter if you're trans, black, white, whatever, purple, or whatever you are. If I'm attracted with you, I better be with you.
So did you think about dating Tony
Better with
Noel? Let's
you.
keep it hot.
Wait,
I
okay, so
She's blushing.
No, because I remember it so well also. I remember who you were with at that time, and I think I was single at that time, and we met I think it was at Starbucks, right, Tony?
Well, for
Um
you, but I was already like eyeing you at the liberal arts building with your like elephant pants. So you didn't know you probably
yes,
technically met me at Starbucks.
The Havoc days.
yeah, yes, I was very gothish, raver
Yes.
type when I was in college. But yeah, so I represent the gay aspect of this LGBTQ. Yeah, and I've known myself to be gay since in high school. I was classmates with Angel. She was actually one of the people that I came out with like the first
So
time.
just in high
Um,
school?
I
yeah,
see.
so
We
I
went to the
didn't
same
have
elementary school, like lower grades,
So
but
elementary
yeah.
school, you were
didn't
like,
become classmates until
I'm a
first.
straight boy.
No, because I did
Oh,
when
he
I was
did.
young. Yeah, but because also when I was young, I didn't know the definition of gay. I didn't, I
Hmm.
knew I was different. But I wasn't attracted to boys. I was
Okay.
just effeminate. I was just, I had a lot of girlfriends here in my village growing up. I play a lot of girl toys, but
Hmm.
I wasn't really sporty except for volleyball, which was still considered like a very feminine sport at that time. So I didn't have a notion of what was gay. The only time that I really found out that I was gay was when I got attracted to one of our classmates. Uh, his name was Titus, and yes, I'm proud to say it. So I
You just
don't mind
outed
saying
him.
it.
You just outed.
Yeah, no, I'm
No, it's a
still
crush on him,
so
so he's not.
he's
It's
not
not
gay,
outing
he's
It's
him.
straight.
just a crush.
And just to
He's
clarify,
straight.
I went to an all girls Catholic school, and
I went to
them three,
yeah,
went to an all boys Catholic school, which there's a lot
That's
of
what
cute
they
exactly.
thought.
boys in their school.
Yeah. So
Exactly. So one of them was classmates. Go ahead,
yeah. So
Ali.
for everyone's information, I, Ali, and Angel and Noel, we all went to the same grade school and high school back in the
All
Philippines,
boys.
which is an all boys school ran by Christian brothers. Okay.
LaSalle Green Hills, where the cute boys and gays are.
Let me say
No,
hi to the
actually,
people who just joined in. Rondina, hello, miss you both and love you. Matthew said, "Where is everyone?" Lee says, "Pan?" Question mark. Pansexuality. And then mom is here watching. Good evening. Good evening. So we have to be. Hi, mom.
we have to be we
So
have
I
to
guess
be a
the
little
pansexuality
tame.
is to
So
Tony. Do you think
Yes.
pansexuality because you're talking about like being attracted to any spectrum? So would you consider
Can you please
I
pansexuality?
don't really know so much of all the verbiage nowadays. Like a lot of Gen Zers like to use this, they, them, pansexual, this and that. And to me, actually, I just want to proudly say that I am sorry for my dogs. I just want to say that I am Kim sexual. Kim is my wife's name. And literally, I am just into her. So if she's watching,
I'm sure
Aww.
she is.
yeah, but actually, I think pansexual would be closer to what maybe how I am. Like my mindset, just because I'm with Kim, though, I'm in a very committed relationship for 17 years now. So, but the way I view attraction between people, it shouldn't be as limited as like, well, you're straight, well, you're gay, well, you're this. You know what I mean? Like, it's
Yeah.
you like who you like, dick or vagina, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, and if you guys are curious about the love story of Tony and Kim, next week on Saturday, where we will be highlighting Tony and she will be sharing her
That was
love story with Kim.
exactly?
so even when I met Tony, she was a very attractive girl. It's just I wasn't attracted to girls. But yeah, I was
Seafood or seafood.
yeah, we had that immediate connection when we first met.
I see you
And
guys
it's
holding hands.
I'm
yeah, we
kissing.
always do. We
Always, I like
kiss,
always
we
kiss
kiss.
Noel.
Yeah, we kissed a lot, like a lot. Like we would go to bars and we just,
Kiss
fuck
each
it, we're just
other.
gonna kiss.
No, actually, like we have to clarify it for them. Not just kiss, like we actually were making out. Like I would
Like
make out with
yes.
Noel.
Yes, that's true. She would be my coach on how to kiss.
And then Noel
Well,
was a
though,
coach to
yeah,
a
and
lot
she's
of
a
straight
life coach.
girls.
So
Noel was a
Tony
coach
was
to
not
a
just
lot of
a life coach; she was also a French kissing coach.
but Noel was
Yes.
a lot of coaches to a lot of straight girls, with their
Y-
boyfriends and what
Yeah.
to do.
I
So he
I
was a
would
coach as
I
well.
would I would teach
So,
them how to.
How to do.
so Noel, would you
How
consider
to
yourself? So Noel, would you consider yourself then a little bit of bi because you kissed Tony? Would you put it that way? Since we're talking about
no,
LGBTQ plus stuff here, like would that be
no,
considered as you? What would you say about it?
no, no, even after like Tony left and I have other great girlfriends, I would teach them how to kiss if they needed to. They needed to learn or something. There was really no attraction to girls, as in zero. Like I had a girlfriend though.
I,
Shout out to
How
Kat.
old were you?
I was in high school. I was
In
still
denial.
struggling.
I
Yeah,
was
I was still struggling with my sexuality. This was even before I came out to my parents or I came out of the closet. But yeah, I had a girlfriend. I courted her. But then I went to Europe and then I came back like super out already. So I had to break up with her. But yeah, I did experiment a little bit. But yes, I'm still a platinum star gay. I never touched anything. Um,
only
so I
made
wouldn't
out with
consider, yeah, I wouldn't consider myself bisexual because I'm not attracted to women.
Okay.
So as because me, I really never kissed girls ever in my life. But between Tony and Noel, does this mean that you both are kind of like gender fluid? Um, can
I
you
love
both
that
answer?
term. So,
Love is love.
I love that term because of the fluid term. It sounds so like free when you say gender
Yeah.
fluid.
it's the
Like I look at
Aquarian
it
in
this
you.
way. I look at it this way. We are all like, as a famous healer once said, Wayne Dyer said, we are all spiritual beings having a body experience. Can you imagine if we didn't have a body and we were all energies? You wouldn't identify what the fuck gender that is or what. It won't matter. It
It
won't
won't
matter what
matter. Yeah.
race. It won't matter what religion. Because there's no body, you can't really judge. So if we were all energy beings and spiritual beings, this won't even be like an LGBTQ whatever. So that's how I
Mm.
see gender fluidity or like why gender is even an issue, you know?
How about you,
Yeah,
Noel?
I
What's
kind
your
of
take on gender fluidity?
no, I love it. If I were to be gender fluid, if I can define myself, if I'm attracted to the entire rainbow, the entire spectrum of the rainbow, I wouldn't mind. I just don't have attraction to women, but
Mhm.
I find beauty in a lot of people. Like I appreciate the beauty in Angel, in Ali, in Tony. Whether you're straight, trans, bi, I don't really care. It's just a matter of like a sexual attraction that I don't have. But
So,
personal attraction, yeah, of course.
Mhm.
So sexual
No,
attraction, you pretty much are set to guys. That's what your attraction is.
yes.
But in
So
terms
would
of
you
gender
be,
identification,
yeah,
would you like say that you're still fluid or talaga male at this point already, or feminine? Like you mentioned before, like earlier, that you like girl stuff. Like you used to play
Yeah.
games and it's Morrigan all the time.
I
And
I yeah, I'd still go through that phase, I guess. Like we were kids, Angel, you remember, we dressed up as women. Like I
yes.
did not want to be a woman. It wasn't
yes.
me. I wasn't a
We shared
transgender, but
clothes. Me
yeah,
and
so we'd
Noel shared
wear
clothes.
I remember like wearing
the
skirts to bars.
butterfly.
I don't the butterfly
So I have a question for
rings,
the three of
whatever.
you. Um, would you date a trans man?
Oh yeah.
What?
I would date
Would
a
date
trans man
someone who's a trans man? And so what
because they're men.
right. But what would it be like because they were born female for
Okay.
I
you?
guess
If I
I'll
could
cross the bridge when we get there.
That's gonna be very tricky.
Gadget.
Yeah, but
They're
I mean, I
gadgets.
think it's hard for Angel because Angel is in a relationship right now. But if I were to answer that question, I'm open to dating a trans man. Why not? I mean, like, because I see them as as male.
Yeah.
And yeah, yeah, like for example with Noel, the physicality needs to be who you're attracted to.
Right.
Since I see
A
masculine
man.
person in front of me and I'm attracted to masculinity, then yes. But more so in the end, what's more important to me still is, how beautiful this person is inside. Because
Mhm.
physical attraction can only go as
That's
far,
far, right?
but the longevity of it is
Right.
really how
The
beautiful you
mind.
are with a heart. Yes,
Yes.
come on.
Very Miss Universe. But I have a confession. Like I would be willing to date a trans man. It's just it's not gonna last for me because the physical sexual thing needs to be there.
Mhm.
And it won't be with a trans man. So but yeah, I'm willing because I think I saw a lot of trans men. They're freaking gorgeous.
Yeah.
Um some of them look better than other straight friends that I have. But I also don't have any physical attraction to straight men.
Oh, okay. So they have to be a little feminine.
Yeah, I don't have a physical sexual attraction to
Even Titus?
straight men. No, Titus was like a crush. He was like a crush.
But some straight men don't even know that they are, especially
And
here
that's the
in
thing.
your
That's the
generation,
thing.
you know?
But for you, for the lesbians and the bis, it's easier for the butches to the blues to approach the pinks. And by the way, the blue and the pink and the purple and all the whatnot is what we used to call them in college. That's our verbology in college, right, Tony?
Yeah.
So she
So
was the one
we
who
have
taught me that.
changed. So just
Yeah, so it was blue, pink, and all that. But yeah, so the more butch lesbians, they would have no problem approaching straight women. And I know a lot of friends who were at that time experimental and then
Yeah.
didn't realize that they were attracted to other women also, or they were lesbians or they were bisexuals. It's harder for the gay guys, I think.
and that's my point with trans man. So how would you know that you're not attracted to them if you didn't try?
Yeah. So I'm willing
Well,
to
I
try
think he
anything
said he's
once.
gonna
So
try, but it won't last because of the
The D
physicality.
word.
Yeah.
yeah, the D word.
But
I
everything still probably would
looking for
work.
the D word.
It will be compatible, but it won't
Yeah,
work. It just won't
it
work.
will be. Yeah, it will be. But I'm gonna look to eat some,
Yeah.
bananas,
But
and
Yes.
it's
Tony, there's
not gonna be
spare
Yeah.
parts,
there.
right? There
Oh,
are
There's no
I
spare
want,
airport,
parts.
honey. We don't wanna.
darling. Nothing beats the real thing. So,
Okay. So Angel, just so you know, let us know if our viewers have any questions
Okay, let
whatsoever.
me go to our viewers. So
I
Lee
must be going
mentioned
crazy now.
pronouns have nothing to do with sexual orientations, FYI. So I'm not sure what came up with that, but thank you for that. Ate Sonia is here, mabuhay. Lee says born a baby. Sonia, when love knocks, yun na yon, basta happy. And then Lee said, not knowing difference within the community terms can be very problematic. Oh, ayan. So, we're getting policed here. We have to be more
I
careful with
know.
our terms and more current. Paulo Abuel. Hi, Noel. Love your hair color. Hello from Los Angeles, California. Hello, Paulo. Hello,
Tito.
Kelly. Nice to see you
Actually,
here.
my uncle. I think
So
technically, yeah.
right. So since we're talking about, how attraction is and things like that, would you say that, for example, in the LGBTQ category, that being sexual with that person is one of the main things in order for you to be attracted to that person or for you to be in a relationship with?
In a romantic relationship, I think it's vital because everybody else you're attracted to is probably your best friends. The only difference is that you are sleeping with this person, so that makes it a romantic relationship. Otherwise, that's your best friend.
But would
Oh,
you say
that's
Yeah,
the
true,
sleeping
Tony.
part is vital for the rest of the 30 years or 60 years or whatever number of years that you're gonna be together?
I think sexual attraction is not just um it's also like with the mind. It's like the energies of togetherness. There's a sexual energy. So it's different from just like sleeping together or just like, you know, doing it. But there's has to be some type of sexual energy. You can't just be, you know, to me, I think that's very vital. Because can you imagine being with someone that you're not sexually attractive to?
It's
The
not
way it
gonna
looks like you
work.
were thinking there.
You know? So it's hard. I mean, even for Noel,
Yeah.
like he said, he can be attracted to, but it's not gonna last. That's what he meant by it. You need to be sexually attracted to your partner.
Yeah, especially, you know, especially with us gay guys, it's, you know, it's mostly about physical attraction really, and sexual
Be
attraction.
sexual, yeah.
So yeah, so sexual orientation, gender identity and expression, it's very different. Like I was born a male guy. I identify still as a man. But my sexual orientation obviously is gay, and my expression is still a guy, still man.
Mhm.
So and for me, it's very important. It's very vital to have that sexual tension, sexual
Right.
energy
Passion.
with your partner, but also that your friends. Like first and foremost, it's also important that you are friends, that you know each other on a deeper level. And by the way, for anybody watching, I am single. I've been single for 3 years. I'm
Yay.
very well accomplished. I'm a family person, so I'm plugging myself.
And you're gonna hear more about his story in 2 weeks. Oh,
Yes,
benta ka pa namin lalo doon.
And I also have a question. Okay, so now since we're talking about like the sexual part of it and things like that, now this is like more serious on this question. Why is it that it seems like lesbian relationships, women to women, last more compared to male or men to men? What's your take on that, Tony and Noel?
Okay, let me answer that. Because first of all, lesbians
Mm.
are boring. They want to do a ritual on the second date. I'm just gonna be real with you. All they do is like to talk, right? They like to talk. So it's just like all about emotions. I mean, these are two women. Like, think about your mother. You know, like you, like, if you look at your mom, you have two, like, let's say your mom, and then you have two of those. You know, like, imagine that. It's like so much, and it's boring. We're not as adventurous, we're not as sexual. It's just the way we are made, you know. The sexual longevity, it's there, but it's kind of like instead of it being like a sprint, it's more of like a marathon. So with I
Yeah.
think gay boys is the opposite. They're just so like adventurous. I mean, we all watch
How is it Noel
Periscope,
in the Gay Boys?
diba? Okay,
No,
gay boy,
no, the
please.
thing is with, I think at least in my generation, I felt like when I was dating, it was everything was in a rush. Like I remember just having one boyfriend after the next. Like, you know, I'd break up with this guy, and then the next week or so I'd have another, and then, you know, it was all very physical. I think it wasn't very emotional. It was only when I kind of grew older that my relationships became deep on an emotional level. And that's when I realized it lasted longer. Like I with Vince, it was like 5 years, and then with Jay, 7 years, almost 7 years. So it was a lot of that, and you know, it comes also with your maturity, I guess, right? Um, so yeah, lesbian. I noticed that too, even early on when I was young. Lesbian relationships. I see some of my lesbian friends. Their relationship lasts longer, and I know because they talk it out. They hash it out, like what Tony said. You know, it's all talk, but it's also on that emotional level that they're able to talk about their problems. They're able to fix their problems because they like to talk. Men in general don't, right? They'd rather either sweep it under the rug, or just move
Right,
on, or just forget about it, or they just have sex, or they just cheat, or
right.
whatever. You know,
But they
whatever
stick
they do.
together.
So
So
Yeah.
what do you guys think about what should gays learn from lesbian relationships and what should lesbians learn from gay relationships?
Tony,
hard Hard to answer being I'm single now.
Since
There's
we're on Miss Universe Philippines, that's the Q&A portion.
so
I
I
know it's a
love
very hard
having
question.
GBFs. I love having gay best friends because they kind of the gay factor of it. Like I said, if a gay boy would date me, I would date them. I don't care because they're fun. like they add a little bit of spice and heat and like fun to like a relationship, you know, that lesbians tend to like kind of forget. Like we always want to stay home and do this, and like we're learning now. I mean, here in Vegas, we're mostly like a lot of mixed, you know, with each other, that we learn to go out and, you know, because lesbians sometimes they just want to have kids or whatever, and I'm like, no. No.
I don't think we could
Because you already have a
generalize.
kid. That's not fair.
But he's grown,
Yeah, but-
so it doesn't count. So like I'm done with it. So now it's like it's time for us to have fun, and the fun factor is what we learn from gay boys. You know, like let's have fun. Let's be more sexual. Let's be adventurous. I think that's how I look at it. I mean, this is a stereotype. So to the
Yeah.
audience that are like, well, I'm not like that, because you know there's gonna be like haters out there. But I'm not like that. I'm only staying home. Like, you know, this is a stereotype, and trust me, I've seen, like, you know, you could say like 70% of lesbians is like exactly how I described
So
it.
disclaimer, everything we're talking about does not apply to all of the
That's
gays
not
and not all
absolute.
of the lesbians.
Absolute.
It's
you
kind
know?
of just like what we've learned through experience and through our
Right.
close friends. So,
Exactly.
well, what's your answer? You have 30 seconds to
True.
answer.
Oh my God, no.
Joke.
Yeah, so the talking part would be good. Like, I guess connecting with somebody on a very deep level, and then talking about the issues and problems that you may have, and then working it out instead of just, again, like what I said, just sweeping it under the rug. You know, to be honest, I think it comes with age, really. Because right now,
What
in
about
my
the
almost
commitment right away from the
40s,
beginning? Do you think that's something to look up to in the lesbian relationships?
yeah, I don't know, because it would vary. Like I would think that commitment comes really from the two people involved in that. Like I would want to have a commitment with somebody, and if that somebody doesn't want to, you know, you can't squeeze water out of a rock. So it's more, I think it's between the two people really talking it out. But if there's a lesson that I really would take from the lesbian community, it's just they're also more proud about their relationship, right? Did you notice that
That's true.
Shout it out.
they wouldn't care? Yeah, they would do a lot of PDAs and all that. They
Right.
wouldn't care. That it was only, I think, recently that the gay community and the gay people were like that.
Mhm.
But in the beginning, at least in my generation, it was extremely taboo for men to be
Yeah, and
holding hands
I feel so
and
bad
things
for
like
the
that.
gay boys, because Noel mentioned earlier that it's harder for being a gay boy, you know, as opposed to
Mm.
like me as a lesbian. But this is the messed up part. It's that society dictates that to us, hence the acceptability for us to be who we are. You kind of like, are you going to be open with your relationship, or are you going to hide it? So if I was a gay boy, I would probably have a hard time too. I would probably have
Yeah.
to hide it, because people will like shame you for being who you are. So that's
Especially
the hard
here,
part. Yeah,
especially in the Philippines.
In the Philippines.
I think it's also the
Yeah.
longevity of the relationship, because it's I think before I transitioned, when I was still dating as a gay boy, ish, when I was presenting as that, I feel like my
You
relationship
never dated
didn't
as a
last.
gay boy, Angel. You never dated as a gay
Well,
boy.
when I was in the gay boys closet,
Like a
I was
Filipina
dating
girl.
I'm your best friend. Like two of the speakers here are my best friends, Tony and Angel. So I'm there.
Noel actually knew from high school that like in the future you're gonna be coming back to the reunion and you're gonna have long hair.
Yes.
Yeah,
Before
I
I
knew from
even
the
did it.
beginning. Yeah.
But back to what I was saying is that when I was dating at that time, I feel like the dating part is not sure if it's gonna last long, and the moment you post it on Facebook is when it kind of goes down, and I'm like, I just announced it to
it's
the whole
dead.
world, and it's gonna be.
It's dead. Yeah, I agree.
If
I mean,
I were
in
to
gay
answer that
years,
question and confess myself,
Yes,
I
confess.
must say though, if I must say though, like just like Angel before transitioning, I think my best relationships then were when I was in the Philippines with my exes as before I presented myself as a transgender woman. So to both of you, my exes, I'm sure you know who you are. I know you both have your lives now, but I want you to know that I've loved you both. And I have an idea.
Wow.
I'm sure you both have an idea who you are. And I wish you the best. And really, and I'm happy for you. I hope you're also very happy. But I just want you to know I love you so much.
Oh, talaga naman.
So Ali, are you able to relate? Because obviously, like, so now we're dating as a trans woman to like guys who are straight, or in the spectrum also being pansexual or bisexual or whatever. It really depends on how they want to identify. But are you able to relate with the lesbian type of dating and the gay type of dating, or on your more recent
experience?
Well, I do understand what, like, I'm with Tony in terms of when it comes to like the women to women, there's like so much heart and there's so much talk to it. Like you can like talk about things like that. So in terms of me, before I presented myself as a transgender woman, I felt like my gay relationships then, let's just put it that way, just so it's easier for everyone to understand, when I was still, I would just say like gay boy, because I felt like they had more of a heart compared to typical straight male. And I think back then, me as a gay boy, dating a fellow gay boy, we both knew what we were getting into. Unlike in today's norm, that when a cisgender male would date a transgender woman, because a lot of like cisgender male are kind of like scared that they might be branded as not being straight anymore because they're dating someone from the LGBTQ category. And that's the reason why certain longevity of relationships is harder, because for them, it might actually, kind of like stain a little bit of their macho-ness, So, and that's the reason why, that's basically how like I kind of like see it. In terms of like, going on dates as a transgender woman, it's not a problem at all. But it's basically getting into like a serious relationship that it could be a problem, because not a lot of like straight males, or at least of my generation, because I'm 41, the younger straight guys that I date, they're like more open to it. But the ones that like, of course, like my age or older, sometimes they're like the ones who are like so many questions and things like that. And so I don't know if I answered your question.
It sounds like the lesbians would post it fastest, and then the gays would like not post it yet on Facebook, and then the guys who are dating the trans women would not post it almost
at all. Yeah.
So I mean, if we were in the Philippines, it would be harder for a trans woman to date someone.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
100%,
not
Tony.
even open.
Absolutely.
Same here. I mean, here it's already hard. How much more in the Philippines? Which actually goes me to the question of one of our viewers, Miss Charlie Talks. Do you think it's toxic masculinity and Catholicism that makes it harder for gay men? And then there's a follow-up question. And is it easier for women to be together in public because straight men can find it sexy? So let's start with the first one. Do you think it's toxic masculinity and Catholicism that makes it harder for gay men? Or I guess in our case, people who date trans women?
Obviously toxic masculinity, but also the way we're brought up, like our upbringing. We're up, a Catholic country. We went to Catholic schools. We would be, asked to go to church every Sunday, and so all that were actually factored into the fear of coming out in the closet. Like when, all the more showing affection to the person that you love in public. That's like, no, can't do that. Like it's a big taboo here. But yeah, so I was very lucky because I have very supportive parents when I came out.
I envy that growing up too.
Yeah, my coming out story is something that I guess we could talk about on my episode. But yeah, it's I was very happy with my supportive family. But the dating scene was very hard. Like I had a boyfriend in the past that we would go out. He would walk like maybe a feet or two. He would walk away from me, and I would follow him.
I remember that.
And then we would, and we would see each other at the movie house. And,
Para ka may ketong, ganon.
it was really hard. And then we couldn't even eat like dinner outside
That's
because
crazy.
he'd be very conscious. But he's gay, He's not even straight. He's gay.
Was this in college or high school?
Yeah, it was in college. But yeah, because
Is
again,
it because
like
of the
we were,
career? Like he's scared that it will affect his career. It will affect.
you know
him.
what's odd is it's because he's a born again Christian.
Oh, wow.
It always goes
It's
back to
religion.
religion.
Yeah, so it goes
fear.
to his. I don't know what really, but he was saying to me that it was, it can't be seen with another guy and things like that. His family is very, very religious, and it was a difficult relationship.
Very toxic.
It was very short term because obviously I couldn't handle it.
Do you feel like up to now it's still like that? A lot of the gay people like stay in the closet because it might affect their how people view them in their like social circle, on their religious circle, or family and work, I guess.
I have
in the Philippines, because you're in Manila right now.
Yeah, I have no issues with people in the closet. Whatever your reason is for being in the closet, that's your reason. I'm not forcing anybody to come out. I mean, each would have their own reasons to stay. Yeah, most that I know would be because of their families, because their families won't accept them. Theirs would be career. They have a certain level in their career that they are afraid that would change. And admittedly, also when I was starting as an openly gay man entering into the career world, I had a very difficult time. I was rejected because I was gay. I had interviews where my future bosses or the interviews were homophobic. And I had to pretend like I was straight and things like that. So it was it's very different for everybody. But it is our culture innately in the Philippines. But it is much easier now because we're getting introduced with a lot of people also, in TV, in media, all of a sudden there's like a boom of BL here. I don't watch BL, but there are a lot of like BL films now, and it's getting to be boy love movies.
That's good.
Yeah, so there are a lot of it here now. It's like the thighs. So it's slowly. I feel it's slowly. The society is all slowly open up.
Next generation already.
Yeah, I think so.
So
yeah, I think so.
Let's go to the next question. So do you think it's easier for women to be together in public because straight men can find it sexy?
Well, I'm not a straight man, so.
Well, yes. And actually, it's funny because it's a double standard. All of a sudden, it's better because they find it sexy. So we are immediately objectified just because we are women, and then we are with another woman because of the porn industry that they made this image of girl on girl. So it's very insulting. As a feminist, that's very kind of like, that's how we are. That's how they view us. But if you want to take advantage of it, me and Kim can go out to the club and not spend a dime because men are idiots. I don't want to say that because like
you're using it to your advantage and enjoy it.
Yeah, we have to change the way we raise our men. We have to raise better human beings to treat the women better. Because that's why there's gotta be
treat people better, not just women. Treat people better.
Everybody, no matter what. So the objectifying of another person is just. But yes, it is. That's how it is. We're accepted just because of that like issue. Like, can you imagine?
Yeah, but you don't like it. Ali, you
I
had something to say.
Question, because we're talking about like religion and things like that. Why, it like has like a big effect on like, how a man and women would go into like a relationship of like the same sex or things like that. So what's your view or what's your take on the Pope saying that gay people also deserve to be with families and that they also, you get what I mean? And
Yeah.
what's your take on that?
Oh yeah. Well, I like that the Pope said it. I get where he's coming from. I generally I don't want to talk about politics or religion, but I get what the Pope is saying, and even for myself, I've been trying to educate the older generation, my parents, and some of my friends, to understand why we're fighting for gay rights. Um, it's not because we really want to get married in the church or we want to get that piece of paper. For me, it has nothing to do with that. For me, it's just um, being able legally to do something for your partner or with your partner that does not restrict you legally. Like, could you imagine being in a hospital and your partner won't be able to sign anything? You have to call your estranged family to be able to sign the document that and things like that. So insurance, banking, I can't even open a joint bank account with my partner here. Not that I have any, but in the past.
Looking to the
But yeah, so
future.
yeah, so it's more that Pope is very progressive, obviously, and a lot of people don't like it. Even in our community, it's being frowned upon, and I still think because it's the Catholicism and it's the Catholic upbringing of a lot of people. And again, their opinion is their opinion. My opinion is my opinion. So,
Yeah.
I'm very happy to hear about that. I think it's a little bit of a move forward,
Right. I
but
think it's
but
going
it's
in the right
still not a little bit. I'm patient.
Yeah,
I'm patient that things will
like you
change,
wouldn't you wouldn't
and I
think
have
of
faith that it will
village,
get
you
there.
know? You
What,
wouldn't
Tony?
you wouldn't think a pope of a Catholic church would say it, because I'm not Catholic, but I think Kim appreciated the Pope saying it, and I think it's in the right
yeah,
direction. It's, if anything, an awareness that, hey, the Catholic Church actually knows who we are, the gay
It's
people.
yeah,
acknowledging that we exist, diba?
Exist because they just
and
thought
that God loves everybody, right? Doesn't discriminate on
And we
anybody.
deserve to have a partner and family.
yes.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
in this pandemic time where there's like almost like so much sadness and everything, that news really is like a light at the end of the tunnel, where it's like it's obvious that there will always be hope. And finally we're heard, like from like someone who's like in the highest position in religion, especially in the Catholicism, that someone at least acknowledges us and knows that we
Yeah,
also deserve the right to live and the right to be included in the community. And
right to love.
very,
Yeah,
very thankful for that. How about the notion of most people saying that if you're LGBTQ and if you basically do the act and be in a relationship with another of the same sex, that because you do the act, and that you're in a relationship, that you're gonna go to hell. What's your take on that?
Well,
but
then
being a Catholic,
because all my friends will be there.
party.
Oh my
I'm going to
god.
hell. I'm going to hell.
No,
Oh my God, Tony, I've never heard of
in
a better
general,
answer.
I said, yeah,
because
then yes, that's where the cool kids are.
no, I think because I brought up in a very Catholic upbringing, but I started to diverge a little bit when I was in college, especially when I met Tony. I became vegetarian because of her, um, and I got on a very spiritual level, and it's not for me. Your faith is your faith. Whatever it is. If you believe in this and you believe in that, that's up to you. Um, I have my own personal relationship with my God, and I am very, I believe in certain things. I'm weird in a little way because I believe in a lot of stuff, and I believe in energy, like what Tony is saying. I believe in the universe conspiring to bring everything for you. I believe in certain things in the Catholic religion, and
Mhm.
so I have a very diverse
Right.
belief.
So Ali, do you
And
still are you still scared that you're gonna go to hell for being trans
Um,
and doing the
well,
acts?
I think like one of my favorite verses in the Bible, if I could share it, I mean, I'm not really sure if I'm saying this right, but, faith, hope, and love. But the most important of the three is love. And God is love. And in order for me to be able to serve my community, love should start from within me. And me having a very strong faith in God and knowing that God is love inspires me to love myself, because I think that if I love myself, then I will be at my very best to serve my community. And if I die, wherever I may go, then so be it. But at least I know that when I die, I did the best that I can because of my faith, because of my love for myself, because of my love for my community.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is Miss Cubao, the new Miss Universe Philippines!
Thank you.
Oh my God,
let me read one of the
How
comments
about you,
again.
Angel? How about you? Do you actually,
Yeah.
do you
For me, I think
hell and a heaven?
we make our world a living hell or a living heaven. So
Yeah.
I think I'm not in hell because I'm happy.
Right.
I'm in heaven.
So to me, it's a construct.
Second runner up. Second runner up.
Heaven and hell to me is a construct. It's how you're going to be remembered. So a perfect definition would, how do we remember Hitler? So he's in hell, right?
Mhm.
How do we remember someone like Princess Diana? So she's probably in heaven. So it's like your memory when you leave. I think
The
it's
legacy.
the heaven and hell. And I don't know, it's just such a thin line with religion, spirituality for me. So it's hard for me to even take hell seriously.
Yeah.
Because what's going with the world right now, to some people, this probably is hell,
But if there's something that I could say that I'm very proud of the LGBTQ plus, and of course, the next thing that gets added onto that in the future is that I think I've met the most truthful people through the LGBTQ, because what else do we need to hide?
Yeah.
Like for example, what I'm just saying is like, I transitioned because I just want to be my most authentic self, because it's so hard to be in your own self prison. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So my question is, what is your advice to those people who feel like they want to be true to themselves, but they just cannot come out? Or do they really need to come out in order for them to really like celebrate who they are as LGBTQ? So what's your take on that? What's your message to them?
Tony, ikaw muna. You're the life coach.
Yeah, the pressure.
I was going to reference what Noel said. It's like you can't really like push someone to be out if they don't want to come out, because every person has their own journey with being truthful to themselves. Every day we do live our lives feeling that we are our most authentic, and then tomorrow we're going to learn something new about ourselves. A person could not be socially out to the world, but they could be out within. Like they could be like, well, I'm okay by myself, that I know who I am. An example of that would probably be like Caitlyn Jenner. She probably was out long before she was publicly out, like in her being, she knew she was a woman. So it was one of those things that are like, I think it was, we're here with other energies and other people. So we perceive people how they perceive us, and we perceive ourselves because that's how they perceive us. So sometimes it affects like your authenticity, because then you have to go by like, well, I'm in Vegas right now, so this is what I need to do. This is how I need to act. Like, you have to conform, but at the same time be different in your own right. So there's always going to be mental blocks. We discover and rediscover ourselves. You can be reborn to whatever you think you are. You can move to another state, another continent, and then reprogram yourself. We're human beings. Like, it's very natural that we question ourselves too. Like, am I being real? Like right now, this conversation, like, I'm not being pretentious. I know I'm being real, So sometimes we suffer as humans. Like, we question all the time. We question. But I think the most scary part is when you don't even, like, you're not even questioning, or you're not even like interested with yourself, So that's a mental block that we need to kind of uncover. Like we need to look within instead of looking at others.
Yeah, so I guess start loving yourself, and as long as you know to yourself who you are and you're out to yourself, then it's good. And then the outside, and I guess kanya-kanya.
follow.
It's up to you.
Follow.
Yeah, everyone. Before, because we only have like 9 minutes left, I don't want to ignore some of our viewers.
Okay.
We have a new viewer here, Miss Jen. Miss Jen here. I'm happy that the Pope made the statement for civil unions, but he is still against the trans community. So with this statement, I'm a trans woman. I'm bad. If I'm a trans woman, I'm bad, but also I'm a lesbian, then I'm not. So so she's happy and sad at the same time for that. And then there's one more question. What do you think can be done to shift that in the Philippines? I think we were talking about the Catholicism, the toxic masculinity, and all of these things earlier. So let me rephrase the question. What things, because I know you're very active in the community, Noel, what things are you doing, or what else can people do, or what else can we do to make a shift in the Philippines?
I think it's just education. What we're lacking here is really the like Soji, like the talk about sexual orientation, gender identity, and expression. That's what, I found that out even as a gay man. I found out Soji maybe a few years ago, like 5-6 years ago. I didn't understand what it was. It was very confusing. And a lot of kids do not know their identity and cannot express themselves. What they need to have is just a basic education, and loving, supportive, respectful. And that's what I wanted to say, like with that question earlier. It's just we respect people. Yeah, as long as you respect people, whether they're out out, it doesn't matter. If you respect them, it's their decision to make. So yeah, in order to change that mentality, I think it's all about education, because we're so ingrained with a lot of our cultural Filipino beliefs, and it's divergent. Everything is like coming from everywhere. But if you're educated, you'll find your truth. You'll find your truth, and others will find their truth, and they will understand you more. So I think it's all about that. We don't even have like sex education. I don't remember having it in LSGH. Do you?
Not in LSGs. We
agree,
had
we don't.
something maybe in sociology and maybe introduction to psychology. But
Yeah,
not really
even
like,
in
That's still not sex education though. So
But
I
it's a
agree with
Catholic
you.
yeah.
school.
So we don't we don't we don't even have that.
Yeah.
We don't even have that. Like I remember I was in college, and one of our religion professors in college actually called our community, like the gay people, abnormals.
Mhm.
And I fought with that professor like in front of class. So even when I was young, I was already like an activist. So I was in a screaming battle with that professor, because he was so, I don't know, uneducated about us. Um, and eventually I had to drop the class, because he told me, if you don't like the way I was teaching, you can walk out. And I said, okay, gladly. And then I picked up my bag and then walked away. And so a lot of those. So even in the older community, a lot of education is needed, and it's up to us. It's up to our community, our generation, and the younger generation, to be able to educate a lot of people about who we are and our truth. But the media is helping a little bit. Like RuPaul's Drag Race is helping a little bit with all that. So, and we didn't have that in our generation. My God, the only thing that we had in our generation as gay people would be the comedic, the comedy,
Yeah.
It's
It's always like the
yeah,
slapstick.
Roderick,
Yeah, we're always like the butt
yeah,
of the jokes and the slapstick.
exactly, and always the parlorista, always
Right.
it was never taken seriously. It was only until now, like
And there's
people
no
had
sisters
like
like Angel and Ali back then,
exactly, like
And
people
my
had no
life coach
idea what a
Tony.
trans.
Yes.
Yeah, people had no idea what trans is or trans women are. They only found out, like we only found out that a few years ago.
Yeah.
It wasn't prevalent in our community because we weren't educated. We didn't have that education.
Yeah, and as what we've
Wow.
been talking about earlier, like if you're automatically on the LGBTQ, then automatically you're gonna have a living hell, you know? So it's not like that now. It's yeah, I
We
It's
also
hard
learn from each other. Like we learn from each other.
now.
Like we didn't have teachers also. Like I didn't have a mentor that I had to,
Right.
what is being gay? How is it to suck? Oh,
but you
sorry.
know
That's
what?
true.
I'm so thankful of that because that's how I became very close to you and Tony. And Ali,
Yeah.
of course, like how we became very close as siblings too, because of of that like hardships that we had to go through in high school.
Yeah. Yeah, and we
After
just learn
all,
from each other.
Future generations, just to let you know, because Ocean grew up with the rainbow community.
Yes! I
So
miss Ocean.
Ocean
Hi,
witnessed
Ocean.
like Mama A and Angel,
Yeah.
So to him, that was just like a normal, like
Yeah.
Saturday. To him, it's like a normal way of being. Because I ask him, are there trans kids? Because now there are trans kids are prevalent right now in his generation. It really doesn't matter who you're friends with. He can be friends with a gay boy or this or that, but it makes me proud because we paved the way so it's easier for them, you
if
know?
I could, if I, oh sorry,
You
if I
go,
could
Ali.
actually just give a shout out, I want to give a shout out to Tony and Kim because when they welcomed me in their home, I remember I was not transitioned yet fully as a transgender woman. And I would go on dates, not as a gay boy, but as a transitioning trans woman then. So I would basically go on dates dressed up as a woman. And I was like so insecure of myself that I even asked then, Tony and Kim, is that okay though? Because Ocean is here that he's gonna see me going out dressed up as a female. And Tony and Kim were just so welcoming and so like, educating Ocean saying, yes, Mama A, it's totally fine for you to just like dress up even in front of him. And it really starts within the family. So that was like a true testament that
Yeah.
if within the family there's a very good foundation, just like with Noel, he had like a very accepting, loving family, then we will actually have more mature individuals understanding really that LGBTQ people deserve the same love because after all, we are all made in God's image and likeness. And I thank you.
Ah.
I
Well,
miss
we're
you
almost running out of
talaga.
time. So, any last words from all of you? And we're almost out of like battery. Also, I saw Tony like
I know, I'm charging. I'm good for another hour.
Let's
Okay,
start with Tony before ka makat
Tony.
off with your battery.
No, I'm charging now.
Any last words?
And also like Tony, any last words? And then if you could also like whatever you want to promote and your advice to the world. Advice muna bago
Okay, the
promotion.
advice to the world, really, people, is just be kind. Be kind. If anything, just kindness. Kindness and respect. I think we would be a better place if there's less judgment because you were kind and you just don't be rude. Don't be a dick.
Don't be a Karen.
Yeah, don't be a Karen or a Kevin. But if your name is Karen, then just don't be.
Use
Um,
your second name or your middle name.
yes, or K.
Okay.
Just to promote, so next week on Saturday for Trick or Treat Halloween Full Moon Special for second full moon of the month, don't forget to log in the series episode with me, my life coach Tony. You can find me on Instagram, YouTube, wherever, and Facebook as well.
Yes. And I'll add all of those description on below. Noel.
um Advice because growing up, I didn't receive. Then it was mostly my friends. Then yesterday I was with some of my friends online also, and we were talking about friends are your family that you choose, right? So within our LGBT community, you form a special bond and you create that as your family. Like I would treat Tony, Nat, Angel, Ali, these are all my family. It's not my biological family, but I chose them to be my family. So for me, having that warm support from your chosen family is important. So create deeper relationship, meaningful friendships. And yeah, I agree. Be kind to one another and also very respectful. And with this pandemic, I guess my advice would be just live every day. Like, stop being scared, stop being so, of course, you'd still need to be scared with the pandemic, with the COVID, but wear your masks. But the point is just, once this is over, travel, if you can, do things that you won't be able to do before. Life is too short. Just enjoy your life, enjoy your friends, enjoy your family. Promotion, wala akong ipopromote. Kasi ang viewers niya US, so wala akong masyadong ipopromote.
Oh, that's not true.
We have Manila.
We have Manila viewers. And
in
just so
2
you know,
weeks, watch your episode.
And Noel,
Really?
and Noel also is, by the way, to everyone out there in the world, Noel is single, very handsome, very successful, very kind. I know him dearly. He's like a really, really like the best catch. So
Very potent.
please let
Hanama.
us know, in case, right? In case you want to
Yeah.
reach out to Noel, we'll be more
He
than
will
happy
produce
to connect
cute
you
babies.
to Noel.
Yeah, so but my IG is private, but you can always.
Ako, my last words is don't be afraid of the LGBTQ plus. Don't be afraid to explore and know more about yourself and to love yourself and to love the person you're attracted to regardless of how they identify or how you identify. Kasi parang it's really like there's like also like blurred lines between all of those things, as you've seen. In the end, as what Tony said, we're two spirits, and if the two spirits are attracted to each other, then that's good. Don't be too scared. And reach out to other people like us, like LGBTQ, because we're family. I mean, if you reach out to me on Instagram or Facebook, I respond as long as it's not just like a hello and there's nothing else going on, But if you enter a question and it's a valid question to answer and it's respectable, then I would answer those questions. And to promote Started Diner this coming week. Tomorrow, we're interviewing Bobby from LaSalle Green Hills. We're highlighting him. Next week, it'll be Tony, but we're switching it. Saturday will be the highlighting individuals, which will be with Tony. And then the live stream will be on Sunday with the Started Diner cast. So I created that. I produced it. I wrote it. And thank you. I have my acting escapades here. And then in 2 weeks, Noel's highlighting individuals, and of course, Ali promote. I'm done with my last words.
And don't forget, Starlet Diner is an award-winning comedy mini series, which is an all transgender cast. Okay,
11.
So, as for me, my advice would be you, be happy, and choose love. If you put yourself first, if you choose your happiness, if you choose love, the world will smile back at you, the world will be happy for you, and the world will love you. But it needs to start within yourself. And I thank you.
Thank you very much for everybody who's watching. We have new people coming in, Life in Plastic. Si Kuya Jared, thank you very much. I'm late to the party. Sonia was saying hi to Lee. Sonia was also saying hi, Noel and Tony. And Lee was saying hi to Ate Sonia, and we're all like friends and happy with each other here. And again, we're all family here for everybody's watching. And
wait. If I could just say, don't forget to watch my episode that I
close Ali. Go.
How to save money. All of us need to save money. Yes.
Oh my God.
On AllyCat Castle.
Okay, well, thank you very much, everybody, for joining.
Thank you, everybody. Love you. Ano ba? Dapat sumasayo tayo dito? Ganyan.
Push lang. Ganyan.
Can we repost it?
By the way, once this pandemic is over, I'll be visiting US. So to see all of you.
Yes, please. We miss you here.
Excellent.